All right. It looks like we are live. What is going on, Bree Hive? Happy Tuesday and welcome back to yet another stream here on the Bree Hive, the Boss Attorney Bree YouTube channel. I'm happy to be back. I had a good weekend. I hope everyone else had a good weekend. Today we are going to get into the Meghan Markle debacle once more. Hopefully the last time, but probably not the last time. If you have been keeping up with my channel, you know that we have covered this case a couple of times. We covered the complaint, we covered the motion to dismiss, and now we are covering the actual order dismissing Samantha Markle's claim against Meghan Markle for defamation of character. Yes, her own stepsister filed a lawsuit against her, or not stepsister, I guess. Ooh, let me correct myself. Half sister filed a lawsuit against her for defamation of character for one of the reasons, saying that she grew up as the only child and honestly probably doesn't consider her as a sister, and several other reasons, such as Samantha lost her kids, all kinds of things. We went over it. This order is going to go over what the judges actually considered when deciding that Samantha Markle did not state her claim for a defamation action against Meghan Markle. Now, there is an option for Samantha to bring it back to court. However, we'll talk about that more towards the end of the live stream. Now, this order from the court is 31 pages. I intended to read every single word on the page, but we may not get through it because that is a lot of words. I'm not necessarily, I don't know if I could actually go through the whole thing, but I will try to get through as much as the court's opinion as possible because we want to know what they actually considered. We had some things that we speculated on. Are they going to consider it to be defamation? Is it more of an opinion? Is it a fact? Has it been published to the masses? And the court is going to talk about a lot of that here. And they're going to talk about what claims she can actually bring back. And when I say bring back, which claims she can actually amend without fully losing the lawsuit. I believe she had about 14 days to respond. And we're probably 6 days into that. So let's see. I think she is going to respond, but once the response comes out, we should be able to cover that on the channel. All right, let's see who's watching live with us today. We have Peachy Keen saying it hasn't. Don't know exactly what you're referring to, but welcome to the live stream. Harper Polo says, oh man, I'm gonna miss this, but hello everyone. Hello, and thank you for stopping by in the live stream. Hopefully you can join later or on the replay crew. Hello Swanky says, Bree Hive, hope y'all are well. See everybody in 8 minutes. Well, your usernames, I'll see everybody's usernames in 8 minutes. Of course, we're just talking to usernames, pictures. Some people have pictures, so we get to see them in that way. And then you get to see my little face here. But yes, welcome to the live stream. Hello, Swanky, a member and moderator of the channel, always here to support us live. Witness, another member of the channel saying hello all. Hi. Tella Swinky, Lambebe, hello, welcome into the live stream. Another member, Chris Lore Mandela says, hi everyone, hello, welcome into the live stream. Guys, if you have not already, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. We're on our way to the goal. I actually appeared on... what did I appear? Friday Night Frenzy with Law and Lumber, Rob from Law and Lumber, and he shouted out the channel and we got quite a few new friends. So if you are one of the new friends from Law and Lumber's channel, please go ahead and drop it in the chat. Say hello. Let us know that you came over from last Friday's stream. So welcome in everyone. Carrie Todd, another member of the channel. Hello. Amy Greenberg says, hey everyone. Hello. Welcome to the live stream. Tanya D, another member and moderator of the channel. Welcome in, saying, hey Bree Hive. Hello. Hello. Everyone saying hi to everyone. Ari, another member of the channel. I'm loving seeing the members. Last time I checked, I think we have 106 members. And we are going to be doing our member live stream. I'm going to put a vote into the members community tab for us to vote what day you guys want to do the live stream. Remember, it will be on the weekend, and then we have to pick a topic. Ari says, hi, Bree, your hair looks so pretty. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Had to slick it back for, for a little while. It'll probably be like this on Thursday. Thank you. Hello, Swanky saying hi. How are you today? To Witness, everyone saying hi. Emeka Fan, another member of the channel. MG Mustang 05 saying sick of hearing about these animals. Are we talking about Miss Meghan Markle and Samantha Markle? Hello, Swanky says you said stepsister. She's suing you next, Bree. Hey, defamation at its finest. On this channel, except I'm gonna laugh in her face. That's not gonna be good for her. Carrie Todd says hello to me. Hello, welcome back in the live stream. Disney Mom says hello. Oh, hello, welcome in. Witness, another member of the channel saying I'm great. Thanks to Hella Swanky, listening and doing laundry. Y'all, I still have not done my laundry, but I did clean my bathrooms and my kitchen. So I did some things, okay? I did some things. And I also watched YouTube while I did my chores. So welcome to the party. Francis Gwen saying good evening. Hello, welcome in. Disney Mom saying, oh, you guys are having a chat. Elise Lynch says, hey, Bree, hello. Welcome into the live stream. We got quite a lot of friends here already today. So that's exciting. Lambe Bay says, my favorite time of the week. Well, I'm happy you could be here with us chatting about Miss Meghan Markle. And we have a lot. The court had a lot to say. A lot to say. If you guys have any predictions about this, I know some people have already covered it last week. Go ahead and drop that in the chat as well. Tanya D says, make sure you hit the like button on your way in to support Bree in the channel. Yes, of course. Thank you for the reminder, Tanya D. Mim Z says, evening, Bree. Hello, welcome in. Lambe Bay says, could definitely use some laughs. I've been struggling hard. Well, I'm hoping that we come with some laughs because remember, Samantha Markle came with the nonsense. Okay, so hopefully we can get some laughs. Cheryl C says, hello, welcome in. Carrie Todd says, doing great here, watching from the hot tub. Oh, that's nice. Hot tub at your house, hot tub on vacation. That sounds fun. I'm saying beautiful, friendly face. Oh, thank you so much. I'm going to kind of skip through some people because we are already behind in the chat and we just started. Okay. We love new friends. Yes, we do. Elise Lynch says, I am a newbie from Friday. Well, welcome in. I noticed that the name was new. So happy to have you here. Z Seltzer says, here on the live stream. Nice to have you. Nice to see you. Z Seltzer is usually on the replay crew. So we are happy to have you here live. Tanya D welcomes Elise Lynch. Disney Mom says, hi, newbie from Law and Lumber. Welcome in. I noticed some of the newer names, but I'm happy that you guys are commenting. Welcome in. We love friends here at the Bree Hive. Kimmy Locker says, hello, Bree and Bree Hive. Hello, another member of the channel. Elise says, thank you to Tony. Hella Swanky says, what? How didn't I know about the Law and Lumber feature? Gonna have to go catch the replay. It was a good time. It was definitely a good time. I didn't tweet it this time. Usually I do tweet it while I'm on there, but this time I forgot. So sorry about that. Hella Swanky says to become an official Bree Hive member, hit the join button and she drops the link for us. Thank you so much for the reminder. Joe W says, hi, Bree Hive. I hope you all had a good day. You did great on Rob's Law and Lumber Friday Night Frenzy stream, Bree. Thank you so much. I had a good time over there. We always have a good time over there. Great cases. If you missed it, check it out. We talked a little bit about Gwyneth Paltrow. I'm glad that's over. Now we can jump into some newer stuff. Hello, Swinky says, we love multitasking and productivity. Yes, we do. Dropping the hearts to Carrie. Miss you too. Hello, Swanky. Witness says, laundry is officially the worst. Thanks for helping. You are welcome. Mine is just sitting there. It's like time to do laundry again at this point, though. I got to fold my clothes. Z Seltzer says, I can only participate if member stream is on a Sunday. Okay, we have been doing it on Saturdays, but maybe we can get a Sunday going this week, or not this week, this month. Happy April. I forgot to say that. Happy April. Welcome into the 4th month of the year, which is crazy to say, right? Crazy, the year is going by fast. MG Mustang 05 says the 2 most important rooms in the house. Which rooms? Cheryl Reed says, hello, Bree and Hive. Hello, welcome in. Nice to see you again. Cheryl C says, I'm not a new subscriber, but I was over on the Friday Night Frenzy stream. It was great to see you over there. Have you gotten a chance to check out any of the Paltrow trial testimony? I did not. I avoided social media like the plague over the weekend, but it is still on my to-do list. So we probably will talk about that on the member stream, kind of catch up, get everyone's opinions on there. So I will have to catch up by then. Joe W says, I just finished my after dinner dessert. Sounds good. I love dessert. I was just eating candy. I don't know if some of you guys could tell. A bowl of strawberry and chocolate ice cream with chocolate sauce and rainbow sprinkles. That sounds delightful. Delightful. Lily says, thank you, Bree. No problem. Welcome in. Silver Raven MC says, thank you for having a live today. Love more content to watch. Awesome. Well, I am glad to be here. I think it's going to be juicy. It's a live reaction. I've only read a little bit of it, so most of this will be live reaction. Hello Swanky says, oh, by the way, the Hollywood attorney gave you a shout out during her live the other night. Some folks said they were going to check you out. I missed her live. I saw her post it, but I missed it. But we have a collaboration in the works. If you guys watch the Hollywood attorney, if you don't, go check her out. We're going to have a collaboration. So I hope you all join us for that. Vicky Graben I hope I'm saying that right, saying newbie from Rob and Law and Lumber. Yes, welcome in. Silver Raven MC says, found you through Law and Lumber. Yes, all the new friends coming in. Disney Mom says, apple pie and vanilla ice cream that sounds delightful. That sounds delightful. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to get off the stream and go get some dessert so I can be a part of the party, man. Oh my gosh, that airplane's so loud. Tiny D says, shout out to At Law and Lumber and the Hollywood attorney for the love. Yes, of course. They are always supported. Hollywood attorney is newer to me, but from the moment I met her virtually, she has been supportive, right? MG Mustang 05 says, happy spring, everyone. Be weather aware. Thank you for that, for letting us know to be weather aware. And then Francis Gwen says, thanks for helping me get through my Tuesday while I'm doing D&D, dinner and dishes. Getting the work done. Love to see it. Mim Z says, yes, it was fun to see you on with Rob last Friday. Yes, I had a good time. Cassa says, welcome back into the live stream. Nice to see you on another live. Saying, hey, y'all, good to see everyone tonight. Yes, we are happy to have you in. Okay, I caught back up with the chat. So now I'm going to jump into the content, or not the content, I guess it's the content. Jump into the order and start covering this because we got a long ways to go. And I don't want to keep everyone up all night. Hello, Swanky says, yeah, the Hollywood attorney went live every night for us night owls and covered the Paltrow trial. It was fun. I think I'm going to do that next time when there is a trial that I want to cover, because I hate trying to play the catch-up game. And I do want to watch the trial, and I also want to live stream it. So I think I'm going to do that on the next trial that I cover. Now, I know we normally cover the fun stuff over here, but I am thinking about diving into the Young Thug trial, RICO charges trial. Thinking about diving into Courtney Clenny. I don't know exactly when she's going to go on trial, but diving into that, doing a recap on that. And then also Brian Kohlberger with the Idaho murders. Thinking about covering that. I know we have some true crimers here in the chat. Let me know if you guys will be into those streams or if we want to stick with the fun things, okay? Let's go ahead and jump into the order from the court. Let's see here. We have, I don't want to do that one today. Let's do this one today. All right. So we have the United States Middle District of Florida, Samantha Markle versus Meghan Markle. And this is the order. The court says this cause is before the court on defendants and Meghan Markle's motion to they're before the court on defendants Meghan Markle's motion to dismiss the first amended complaint, plaintiff Samantha Markle's response in opposition, and defendant's reply. For the reasons set forth below, the court will grant the motion to dismiss plaintiff's defamation claims based on the book Finding Freedom will be dismissed with prejudice. Her remaining claims will be dismissed without prejudice. So that goes into what I mentioned a little earlier of she will be able to bring some of the claims back without fully losing her right to this case that has been going on, getting that discovery done within the right amount of time, which is supposed to be by July 3rd. I cannot believe this year is going by so fast. So She has finding freedom will be dismissed with prejudice. Finding freedom will be dismissed with prejudice, and the remaining claims, so some of the article statements and interview statements, they are dismissed without prejudice, which means she can bring them back to court and fix them up. They go ahead and let us know that Samantha Markle is the plaintiff, and she is a citizen of Florida, and her half sister to Meghan Markle, as alleged in the first amended complaint. And remember, they're going to say all of this is alleged because they're using the facts that each of them gave to the court. The two were close during childhood, according to Samantha, and plaintiff regularly drove defendant to school and helped her with her homework. Overall, they had a wonderful relationship. Plaintiff and defendant stayed close in the years that followed, even as defendant's acting career took off. However, their relationship soared after plaintiff met Prince Harry and became engaged to him. So if she's saying that their relationship was that good this recently, why is Meghan like slighting her? Like, what happened? Why does she not like her anymore? Let's see. Maybe because she's filing lawsuits against her. From the late 2015 and 2018, plaintiff and defendant did not communicate, which plaintiff understood to be a consequence of defendant's acting career and busy travel schedule. Usually people don't just start ignoring you out of the blue. I know she's busy working, but just to go from being the best of friends to not friends at all, I don't know. You probably did something. However, plaintiff soon realized that the relationship had unraveled. Defendant hung up on plaintiff during a phone call, invited their father to the royal wedding before disinviting him due to his health, and ultimately did not invite any family members to the wedding. Plaintiff was contacted by media for the story and stated that defendant should reach out to her ailing father. The press wrote the plaintiff's bashed defendant and used fabricated quotes. Defendant responded to plaintiff through the media. Plaintiff was later interviewed in December 2018 and received negative press coverage. All right. So I think I missed the membership earlier too, actually. Did I cover that one? Yes, I missed it. So we have Chris Laura Medelis becoming a new member of the Bree Hive. Welcome into the membership. Nice to have you here. We're happy to have new members. And then we actually have a Disney Mom gifting 5 Boss Attorney Bree memberships. Thank you so much for that. Let's see who we have in the new membership spots here. We have Cheryl C., another member of the channel. Elise Lynch became a member of the channel. MG Mustang 05 became a member of the channel. Let's see, don't mess it up. Oh, they messed it up. Come on, show me who is here. Show me who's there. Okay, Paula Mayha becoming a member of the channel. Nice to see you. And Amy Greenberg becoming a new member of the channel. Thank you, Disney Mom, for gifting 5 Boss Attorney Bree memberships. And welcome to all the new Boss Attorney or the Bree Hive membership. You get cool little badges next to your name, cool emojis that you get to use in the chat that the non-members do not have access to, and you get to support the stream and come on the members live stream, which now we are on a roll. We're going to have a lot of people, and I hope a lot of people are joining into the live stream. So get ready for our weekend live stream where the members can join. I'm way behind in the chat now. Way behind in the chat now. MG Mustang 05 says, for someone who wants to live a quiet life, they sure do a lot of staying in the media. Yes, and which is probably why Meghan Markle is not dealing with her. And for those of you who do not know, I'm not a Meghan Markle fan. I literally just cover these stories and don't know a lot about the people, to tell you the truth. So I'm not being favorable to her if you guys think so. But Samantha just comes off as annoying to me after covering several parts of this case, but I'm definitely not a Did I call her Megan the Stallion again? Meghan Markle fan. Not a Meghan Markle fan. Okay, let's see here. Jumping back into it. Finding Freedom, Harry and Meghan, and the Making of the Modern Royal Family. On August 11, 2020, a book titled Finding Freedom was published and marketed as defendant's unauthorized biography. It was written by Omid Scooby and Carolyn Durand and distributed by HarperCollins Publishers. Although the book was supposedly unauthorized, plaintiff alleges that defendant contributed false information to the book through her agent and communications secretary. Plaintiff further alleges the Chapter 12 title, A Problem Like Samantha. What a title to a chapter. Like, tell me you have a problem with Samantha without telling me you have a problem with Samantha. Saying that the chapter contains numerous false statements about plaintiff. Plaintiff lists the following 7 statements from the book. And so let's go ahead and jump into what statements she said were false about her. For one, plaintiff and defendant's paths had crossed only twice since they grew up. Remember, Samantha is alleging that she drove her to school, she helped her with her homework, so they had a closer relationship than just seeing each other twice when they were growing up. 2, there is only one picture of plaintiff and defendant together. If you are hanging out that much, you're probably going to have more pictures than that. That's what Samantha is alleging here. Plaintiff reached out to the Sun with her story about how snagging a royal had been defendant's lifelong ambition and was handsomely paid for this. Now, that sounds like a hater to me. She's basically saying that Meghan Markle always wanted to marry one of the royal princes, whatever you want to call them, wanted to marry them. And so she basically went after Prince Harry so that she could become a princess. If she said that, that's messed up. So I would get why she would want to clear her name on that. But yeah, not a good look. And saying that Samantha was actually paid for it. She's basically claiming she was not handsomely paid. Maybe paid a little, but not handsomely paid. Defendant grew up with plaintiff. She barely saw her. Defendant didn't grow up. So Meghan Markle didn't grow up with Samantha. She barely saw her. Again, Samantha is alleging that she spent a lot of time with her. The half sisters have never been close. Samantha's saying they are close. Samantha was not invited to Meghan's first wedding. I would like to see the evidence. Did you receive a invitation or did you invite yourself? Defendant or Samantha, or no, Meghan asked her father to intervene when Samantha, and he had told Samantha she is hurting Meghan. Basically saying that they asked the dad to intervene when they were having some issues there. And she's saying she didn't say that. So let's see what the chat is saying so far. I didn't remember all those statements, but let's see what you guys are talking about. Elise Lynch, new member of the channel, saying, I'm interested to see what the live stream is like. Well, you're going to see. Tanya D says, you can do it, Lambebe. We'd love to see you. I missed the comment above. Casta Sass said, hello, baby. I feel the same way. I'll just listen to the professional and the courageous ones speak because at least one of them is probably gonna feel the same way. I do. No, you guys should join on the live stream. It's always fun. I promise you, it's not a big deal. There will be other people there talking with you. So you just come on. And then I run my mouth. So if you get nervous, I'll pick up the slack for you, okay? Ella Smoky says, I never understood how she was able to sue Meghan Markle when she didn't author the book. That's wild, unless there's something I'm missing. She's basically saying she told the information to the agent, and the agent was her agent, basically. The agent was able to speak on her behalf. Therefore, the words that came from the agent was actually words that came from Meghan Markle. So she's kind of trying to do like a vicarious liability kind of thing. Tanya D says, it's so much fun, Elise. The members get to come on the stream and give your live opinion on the cases. Yes, exactly. It's a good time. You should try it. You'll get to vote. You'll know when it is. So hopefully you guys all join. Lambe Bay says, okay, I'm going to try, but only because I feel safe. Like I won't be judged because y'all are so supportive and uplifting. Yeah, the chat is amazing. The chat is amazing here. Cheryl C says, it's a riff on a song title, A Problem Like Maria from The Sound of Music. Yeah, but to name your book title that after your sister who said she's so close to you, and then you just think she's a problem. Unless I don't understand the context of the song. I don't think it would be a loving song, but I'm not all the way familiar with it. Cheryl Reed says, I don't get why Samantha Markle, and then it got cut off. Okay, we'll come back to it. Joe says, Salam Bebe and Casa Sass. I agree. Joining the stream seems a bit intimidating. It's not. I promise, guys. It's a good time. We've done it twice already, so you guys can check it out. We did one in March and one in February. I can't remember exactly which streams it was, so I would have to probably post the link to them later. It's a safe space. Yes, I agree. Hello, Swanky said, and guess what, guys? We have a lovely community, but it's a couple of us here. It's not a lot of people. I think it would be a good start, like rather than jumping on something that has like 20,000 people. It's like a group of close friends, right? So it's the least intimidating stream I think you can jump on. Hello Swanky says, it's way more fun with more people. Gotta join the members live to keep me from talking too much, please and thank you. No, it's okay. MG Mustangs 05 says, wow, you have great energy. Thank you. I'm hoping I can keep it throughout this 30 pages. It's a lot. It's a lot. Elise Lynch says, oh, I've always got lots to say. Hey, it helps me out because then I don't have to talk the whole time like this. Cheryl Reed says, I don't get why Samantha Markle would take to court and then think Meghan Markle wouldn't be upset. And of course, why would you want to hang out with the person's sister or not? Yeah, let her grow in her own way, right? Right. Definitely shades his Carrie Todd. Lambe Bay says, I say we make a pact, Joe W. and Casa Sass. We all go on the members live stream together. Okay, so when I put the vote up, make sure you put in the comment which day you can actually come so that I will hold you guys to that. So I need to write that down. Casa Sass, Joe W. Let's see. You guys are coming on the stream next time. The Sass, Joe W. Hopefully some of our LawTube members will join in. I always try to get them to come. They never come. Let's see. I think I give them like too late of notice. Who else was in there? Lon Bebe. Yep. You guys are, I'm writing it down. I'm holding you to it. So make sure you comment what day you can go. All right. Hello Swanky dropped one of the member live streams for you guys. So if you want to see how not intimidating it is, you definitely can there. Thank you, Hello Swanky. Casa Sass says Talan Bebe and Joe W. Okay, I'll try my best to make it and not let the kiddos run and scream across the screen. Yeah, we can't do that. This is a channel that's not for kids. So the kids cannot run and scream across the screen. Okay, let's see where we're at. Defendant CBS interview. So we're going to get into some more statements that Meghan said, or not Meghan, Samantha said was defamatory to Samantha. I'm mixing them all up right now. Defendant CBS interview on March 7, 2021, Oprah Winfrey interviewed defendant and Prince Harry on a televised CBS special. Over 50 million people turned in worldwide. Plaintiff alleges that defendant made 3 defamatory statements: that she was an only child. I guess that can kind of be fact. This one I never liked, right? Only had met plaintiff a handful of times, and that plaintiff changed her surname to Markle after defendant started dating Prince Harry so that she could cash in on the newfound fame. Now, guys, I think I found why Meghan Markle was no longer Samantha's friend when she started dating Harry, because if she did change her last name around the same time that Meghan Markle started dating Harry, it does seem like she did it so that she can get some type of fame of being associated with the prince's new girlfriend turned new wife, right? Because we have to remember that Samantha Markle was married, I believe, twice. And she kept the last name of, I believe, one of her husbands. Don't quote me on this, but she kept the last name of the husband for like years and years after they divorced. And then all of a sudden she changed her last name to Markle. I would think that's a little weird too if your last name has always been something different. Because remember, Samantha Markle is a lot older than Meghan Markle. if I'm not mistaken, it's at least close to 20 years, if not 20 years different. So to Meghan, Samantha probably always had a different last name, right? And then all of a sudden, when she dates the prince, now you want to change your name? It does seem a little sketchy, right? All right, let's see here. Plaintiff submitted an undisputed transcript of the pertinent portion of the Oprah Winfrey interview reproduced below. The alleged defamatory statements are underlined. Any typographical errors or repeated words appear in the transcript submitted to the court. So don't be saying we messed up. That's what the court is saying. Don't say we messed up. Speaker 3, but she found out her dad was working with the tabloids. What's her name? Meghan says, there was such an obsession about anything in my world, including tracking down my parents, and I did everything that I could to protect both of them in the media frenzy, Friday night frenzy. But for over a year, the UK tabloids were trying to find my dad, offering people so much money to try to find his address. Once they did, I remember being told there was a huge headline like we found him or we've got him saying that about someone's father. And from that point, the tabloids, they moved into the apartment next door and across from him, oh my gosh, descended on the small town, which is giving him gifts. The whole thing brings us to where we are today. That sounds like horrible. Oprah says, did it feel like betrayal when you found out your father was working with the tabloids? Meghan says, I'm just trying to decide if I'm comfortable even talking about that. If we're going to use the word betrayal, it's because when I asked him when we were told by the comms team, this is a story that was going to be coming out, which, by the way, the tabloids had apparently known for a month or so and decided to hold until the Sunday before our wedding because they wanted to create drama, which is also a really key point in all of this. They don't report the news, they create news. That's a good interpretation. We called my dad and asked him, and he said no, absolutely not. And I said, the institution has never intervened for anything for us, but they can try to go and kill this story. But if they do this once, we're not going to be able to use the same leverage to protect our own kids one day. So she tried to save whatever story this is. I'm not all the way familiar with it. Oprah says, he said no, absolutely not. He hadn't been talking to them. Defendant said yes. Dad said he wasn't talking to them. Oprah says, so he basically lied to you. Meghan says, well, and so when I said we won't be able to protect our own kids one day, and I said, I just need you to tell me, and if you tell me the truth, we can help. And he wasn't able to do that. And that for me was really that has really resonated, especially now as a mother, Oprah says not being willing to protect you. Meghan says, and also me saying just full stop. If we use this to protect you, won't be what is it? If we use this to protect you, won't be able to protect our own children one day. Well, I'm talking about your grandchildren, so I can't. I mean, I look at Archie, I think about this child, and I go, I genuinely can't imagine doing anything so to intentionally cause pain to my child. I can't imagine it. So it's hard for me to reconcile that. Okay, so she wanted her dad to basically kill the story. Dad said he has nothing to do with the story, right? Oprah says, so your father being hunted down, it seemed like you were saying in some ways that they did this to him. So I want you to be able to clarify this, that the tabloids, the media did this to him. They hunted him, but he has a responsibility in it too. Meghan says, everyone has accountability. Look, they've hunted my mom down, and basically my mom didn't say nothing, right? Oprah, right. She never speaks to the tabloids. Mama is not talking. Defendant says, I never heard her say a word, which is Meghan. I never heard her say a word and remained in silent dignity for 4 years watching me go through this. Oprah says, and Meghan Markle, your half-sister on your father's side, has written a supposedly tell-all book about you. What is that? What is your relationship with her? This is a whole transcript. They were not lying. I was not ready for this. Defendant Meghan says, I think it be very hard. The grammar is killing me here. I think it be very hard to tell all when you don't know me. And it's a very different situation than my dad, right? When you talk about betrayal comes from someone you have a relationship with, right? I don't feel comfortable talking about people and I really don't know, but I grew up as an only child, which everyone who grew up around me knows, and I wish I had siblings. I would have loved to have had siblings, so I'm excited to be pregnant that Archie has someone. It was really interesting to me. The last time I saw her must have been at least 18, 19 years ago, and before that, 10 years before that. Jeez Louise. So you all weren't close? You didn't grow up together? Meghan says no. Oprah says she doesn't really know you. Meghan says no, she changed her last name back to Markle, and I think she's I think she's in early 50s at the time, only when I started dating Harry, and I think that says enough. Again, remember, like I said, she had her ex-husband's last name for a very long time, and then all of a sudden she changes her last name back to Markle. Now, Meghan is saying she didn't really have a relationship with her throughout the years, but Samantha is saying she had a very close relationship without her. Saying she had a very close relationship with her throughout her childhood, and maybe she took her to school when she was like in kindergarten. And maybe Meghan doesn't remember that. So we would need a lot more context than her saying, oh, yeah, I did. I helped her with her homework. Like, are we talking preschool homework? Are we talking homework while she's in high school and she would clearly remember you, right? Saying you talk to her on the phone every day. Let's see the phone records. Who knows? Let's see. She will be able to bring the case back so that maybe we'll see this evidence that she has. I'm trying to get through the script here, y'all, so that's why I'm not checking the comments. I'll be back there in a moment. Speaker 3, the CBS reporter, says the name change does say a lot. Oprah is still with us. Oprah. The other thing that leapt out to me was the way Meghan described how her mother had been bearing up under all the scrutiny with, quote, silent dignity. And then you contrast that with her father. Is she open at this point to having a relationship with her father? I know he's never met Archie or Harry. Oprah says, I know, or Harry, I think I didn't pursue that conversation with them. From what I gather, her relationship with her father is similar to what's happening with Prince Harry and Prince William now that there is distance there. And maybe with time, things will get better. And that was the conversation that she is claiming all of this defamation occurred in. The court goes on to address damages, saying plaintiff lives in Lakeland, Florida, a small city where she is well known. So all of this drama about her is bad to her reputation. She alleges that as a result of the false statements, defendant fan base, including a significant part of Lakeland's population, became angry with Samantha. Suddenly, Samantha was seen as an opportunistic trying to cash in on her sister's success and fame, despite having no relationship with her. The defamatory statements caused irreparable prejudice, injury, and harm to plaintiff's reputation, as well as anxiety and emotional distress. And remember, she is trying to sell her tell-all book. She's trying to sell her tell-all book. You cannot, say these mean things about her. She has received hate mail, ongoing negative press, and was stalked by one of defendant's fans. Moreover, plaintiff has been unable to work as a mental health counselor because of the damage of her reputation. My thing is, if she went somewhere else and she changed her last name back to whatever the heck it was, then people wouldn't even know who she was. I mean, in my opinion, I wouldn't know who she was, and she can be a counselor, but Yeah. And then they go to take judicial notice of the book because it was something that was written. They go over the legal standard for a motion to dismiss. So let me go ahead and jump in the chat and see what you all are saying, and then we'll get into a little bit of the legal standard, but we're not going to dive super into it because it's a motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim. Basically, not pleading facts sufficient enough to prove that you have a cause of action, right? Okay, let's go ahead and jump into the chat, see what the peoples are saying here. I think I see a friend coming in that we missed at the beginning of the stream. We have Deacon Fatal saying, good evening, and I'm sorry I'm late. That is okay. Welcome back into the live stream. MG Mustang 05 says Oprah Winfrey. You don't like Oprah Winfrey? What did she do? Cass the Sad says, okay, now I'm really excited to do the members only. Yeah, we'll have a good time. I promise you. Elise Lynch says, thank you, Disney Mom, for both the well wishes and the membership. Yes, yes. Tanya D says, I just checked. Samantha is 58 and Meghan is 41, so it's a huge age gap. Yeah, so that's like what? 17 years or so. 17 popped into my head, but I'm like, I could just be making that number up. Yeah, so it's about almost 20 years of an age difference. So maybe she did take her to school. Maybe she did help her with her homework, but I don't know. Nobody was helping me with homework past like second grade. My parents were not helping me with homework. So it almost sounds like she was younger, and maybe she did help her. And I know plenty of people who have older siblings that come by and they have, a good relationship with them, but the younger sibling doesn't really remember because of their young age. And they don't really see it as a close relationship. It's like, okay, this is my older sister that's trying to boss me around sometimes. I don't know. I don't have an age gap that big, but I can definitely see that being the issue. Or being an issue. Tanya D says, I just checked, or you already read that. Thank you, for Tanya D, for checking the ages. Hello Swanky says to Elise, makes sense. I wasn't always comfy having my camera on when I was in the hospital, so I get it. This is one of the safest places on YouTube. We just want to hear your thoughts and opinions. Yes, of course. And I missed the chat earlier, so I am sorry if you are in the hospital or having any type of issues going on, and I'm happy that you can be here live with us. Christopher, I like how that's spelled, says Nate did an interview with Samantha some time ago in which she described their relationship. I have not seen that from Nate. I know he has covered it quite a bit, but I haven't seen any of his recent stuff, and I can't really remember a lot of his old stuff because, time. But I just don't believe Samantha. I feel like a lot of times I don't believe what people write, which is bad. I'm not supposed to be that biased, right? But I'll check it out if I can find it. MG Mustang 05 says her sister's success is between. Oh, hey, we are not going there on the line. Disney Mom says to Tanya D, that is a huge gap raised totally different. Yeah, and like I said, maybe she did come by and help her with her homework, but it was more of like a super older sister. Like if she's 5, Samantha is like what, 23 or something? Like me with my nieces at that point, right? Let's see. Deacon Pedro says, oh goodness, and why are folks so invested in this again? Because it's good. It's interesting. Elise Lynch says, thank you to Swanky. Saying hi to Swanky. Kimmy Locker says, I bet she wouldn't even have to go anywhere. She could just take a break and then come back with her married name. Yeah, probably. But it almost feels like some of it is just like, oh, let me make a big deal out of it so people feel bad for me, and this is me proving my damages. Like, was she even trying to work? I don't want to be working at that age, but I know America, we have to. Okay. But is she even trying to work, or was she just trying to sell this book? How long has she been out of the profession? Things that need answers, right? Tiny D says 2 different generations, completely 2 decades apart almost. Joe W says Lambe Bay, cast the sass. Boys are so full of energy. They just need to find something to invest their time and focus into. I was ADHD and definitely used to run around and into things. Because you guys are talking about the kiddos there. Cheryl Reed says, why write a negative book about your family yet want to be close to them and then sue? Can't have it both ways. Right. A tell all, but you're like, oh, but she wrote some stuff about me that I don't agree with. Maybe you wrote some stuff about her that she doesn't agree with either. All right, let's see. Hello, Swanky says to Deacon Fatal, bruh, I was just thinking, what the hell is where the hell is Deacon? I hope she's good. I look back at my screen. Boop, there you are. It's so crazy how we notice when people are missing here too. Castus Ass says the age gap between Samantha and Meghan is quite large, and I feel like maybe they weren't as close as Samantha made it out to be. Right. We don't even know how often she stopped by. Maybe she helped her with her homework one time. We don't know. We really don't know. Okay, so we kind of briefly went over failure to state a claim. I don't want to read all of this because it is long, the standard that we will be discussing. So we're just going to jump right into the defamation, y'all. We are not even halfway through this thing. We are not even halfway through this document. Let's see here. Defamation, let's get the law of defamation, okay? The substantive law of Florida applies to plaintiff's defamation claim. Florida law separates defamation into two causes of action: libel or slander, and slander. Libel is defamation expressed in print, so something in writing. Slander, on the other hand, is a spoken or oral defamation of another, which is published to others and which tends to damage the person's reputation, ability to conduct personal business, which she's claiming she couldn't get a job after this, but really was she trying to get a job after this? We don't know. Ability or profession, which she says she was a counselor, and which holds that person up to disgrace and humiliation. The people in her small town was making fun of her. Either form of defamation requires the same elements: publication, falsity, the statement needs to be false, and the actor acted with knowledge or reckless disregard as to the falsity of the publication on a matter concerning a public official, or at least negligently on a matter concerning a private person. Actual damages, and the statement was defamatory. I'm wondering if she's trying to promote herself as a public figure or as a regular person. Because if she's going to say she's a public figure, I'm sure if this goes to trial, Meghan is going to argue that she's a public figure at this point. And then it wouldn't be defamatory even if the statements were false. I feel like a lot of the statements come off more as opinions to me, but we'll see as we go further. A statement is defamatory if it tends to harm the reputation of another by lowering him or her in the estimation of the community, or more broadly stated, is one that exposes a plaintiff to hatred, ridicule, or contempt, or injuries his business or reputation or occupation. People not buying your book, ma'am. Okay, maybe you're not getting a job, but people not buying your book. Maybe we just don't want to buy your book, lady. Let me stop. Let me be unbiased for like 10 minutes. Okay. True statements that are not readily capable of being false, and statements of pure opinion, which I think some of them are opinion, are protected from defamation actions by the First Amendment. Whether a statement is one of fact or opinion, and whether a statement of fact is susceptible to defamatory interpretation, are questions of law for the court, so the judge would decide that. In answering these two questions, a court must construe statements in their totality with attention given to any cautionary terms used by the publisher in qualifying the statement. For finding freedom, defendant argues that the claim based on finding freedom must fail because she did not publish the book. So a third party did this book. It's not Meghan Markle. And the court agrees. We talked about this, guys. We talked about this before on the stream. The statements published in Finding Freedom, the court agrees that Meghan Markle did not publish this to a third person. Somebody else published it to a third person and claimed that Meghan said it. Maybe they claimed it, or maybe they just inferred it. We don't know. I haven't read the book. In the amended complaint, plaintiff alleges the false information contained in the book came from the Duchess herself through her agent, looking for vicarious liability here, and communications secretary. According to plaintiff, this allegation satisfied the publication requirement. Plaintiff also argues that defendant's case on the issue of publication are distinguishable. Court's hearing on the motion, plaintiff argued that a claim for defamation under a theory of reasonably foreseeable third-party republication is allowed under Florida law. Vicarious liability. Y'all know what Meghan said? Meghan said she don't know her sister like that. Okay, let me go write a book saying Meghan said she don't know her sister like that. Yeah. Okay. As discussed below, the court finds that plaintiff's claim relating to Finding Freedom are due to be dismissed because A, plaintiff must publish a defamatory statement for it to be actionable, and it is undisputed that defendant did not publish Finding Freedom. You cannot use vicarious liability here, is what the court is basically saying. All right, we have friends popping in. Julia543, another member of the channel, popping in saying hi, Ari. Hey, Cast the Stats. Hey, Disney Mom. Hello, welcome into the live stream. Hello, Swanky says to Julie543, same. It's fun to catch up. Feeling like I already know people I haven't met. It's so chill here and fun at the same time. It is. I love it. Deacon Fatal says to Elise Lynch, I guess this is a thing. People get back together for holidays and let's shoot each other. Tanya D says to Julia, like, cheers, where everybody knows your name and always glad you came. Yes, of course. Elise Lynch says, I've been doing holidays all wrong, apparently, to Deacon. It's a great song. Disney Mom says to Joe W, I'm sorry you were having health issues, but I'm glad you got diagnosed and now you have a plan. Sending positive thoughts. Yes, of course, I missed the chat, but I hope you are doing well, and I'm happy that you can come here and potentially get some laughs over here at the Bree Hive. Hope it's making you feel better. Joe says to Julia543, the chat's moving quite fast right now. It is nice to have you here and be here myself. I'm newer to this community, but I have been dropping everything to be here lately because it's fun and the chat is all nice people. Well, I'm happy we can create a positive community for everyone. At least Lynch says, sorry you had to deal with that, but glad it's done now, Deacon. Yeah, I missed some of y'all stuff up above. It's a lot of reading going on here today. Deacon Fatal says to Elise, you are doing it right. Halfords and McCoys outside your house isn't fun. Okay, let's see. Cassasat says to Joe W, yeah, I'm very thankful his school is extremely proactive for their special needs kids. That is good. That is always good. Let's see. I think song lyrics. All right. I can only imagine a Deacon. All right. And then Deacon Fatal says, yeah, getting a diagnosis is really nice because then it helps you talk to your doctors. Yeah, and it lets you know what direction you need to be going to fix whatever you have going on. I'm happy everyone is here and enjoying. We're having a good time here on the live stream. If you guys haven't already, please do hit the like button, whether you're watching on the replay or live here. It helps us out in the algorithm. We actually have quite a few friends here today, so let me go ahead and check where we're at with the likes. We're at 57 likes. And we have 63 people watching, which means at least 5 of you have not hit the like button. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the like button. You know, we have the goal of 100 likes per live stream. We haven't hit it for the last few live streams, so I'm hoping we can hit it today. All right, let's see what else is going on in the case here. All right, the court has taken judicial notice of Chapter 12 of Finding Freedom. Defendant submitted and scanned versions of the chapter as well as the title page and copyright page of the book. The authors of the book are listed as Omid Scobie and Carolyn Duran. Plaintiff concedes that they wrote the book. So Meghan did not publish it, right? Publication is an element of defamation As the Florida Supreme Court has explained, because the publication of a statement is a necessary element in the defamation action, only one who publishes can be subject to the form of the tort liability. So you got to call up Omid and Carolyn for publishing this, right? Discussing the definition of publisher in a negligence action involving distributor liability, which is indistinguishable from a garden variety defamation action. Defendant relies on Johnson versus Darnell for the proposition that a valid claim for defamation under Florida law would need to allege that the defendant themselves were responsible for publishing the defamatory material. Plaintiff attempts to distinguish Johnson by arguing that the defendants in that case indirectly led to the material being published, while defendant here was the direct source of the defamatory information. I don't know if she can completely say that, because just because she's talking to her agent and the agent may interpret it like hello telephone, they may interpret it different than what she actually said and then spread that to someone else. And then now you're blaming Meghan Markle when maybe she didn't even actually say those words. It would be different if the agent like recorded Meghan Markle, took the recording and gave it to the authors, and then they wrote it that way. That's a whole different story than saying, "Oh, she says she doesn't really know that lady like that." I don't think she really knows that lady like that. We can't tell if it's actually Meghan saying it unless like the agent recorded her and handed the recording over to the authors. That's what we're going with here. In Johnson, an individual was pulled over by the police. He drove off during the traffic stop and later abandoned his car. Police discovered the car and found Johnson's driver license inside the vehicle. The officers who conducted the initial traffic stop identified Johnson as the driver based on the license and their recollection of the encounter. They filled out a warrant application and a warrant was issued for his arrest. Furthermore, his name and picture were posted on the county's most wanted list. The state of Florida ultimately chose not to prosecute Johnson for the offense, and he brought a defamation claim against the officers, arguing that their fabricated warrant application led to his name and photograph being published on the most wanted list. The trial court dismissed the claim based on Johnson's failure to allege publication. The 11th Circuit affirmed, holding that because he alleged that the officers indirectly caused his name and picture to be published on the list, not that they published the list itself, he failed to state a claim. Plaintiff attempts to distinguish Johnson by arguing that while Johnson failed to allege that the officer published the defamatory material, she alleges that defendant was the one responsible for the statements in Finding Freedom. This is a distinction without a difference. Plaintiff alleges defendant relayed defamatory information to her agent and communication secretary, who passed it on to the authors of the Finding Freedom, who ultimately included it in their book. But this is not the same as claiming defendant published the book, and thus Johnson is persuasive. So the court is not feeling the argument that they tried to make there. And see what the chat is saying. Deacon Fatal says, "Oh goodness, Florida again." Yes, we are in Florida with the nonsense today. Julia543 says, "I was trying to pause for a moment. I felt like I was hogging the chat and what Bree was bringing up, but I'm going to keep saying hi to everybody because it's a wonderful community." Well, hello. We are happy to have you here. Feel free to keep dropping highs in the chat. I try to sort through them. I'm not that good at it, but I try. Steph says also, Samantha is disabled and in a wheelchair due to MS. Don't think she has worked in quite a while. Oh, I did not know that. I did not know that. So that goes more towards the point of, was she even trying to get a job? Did she put in any applications? Where did she put in the applications? Good point, Steph. Disney Mom says to Julia, "You just keep being your wonderful self." Yes, of course. Deacon Fatal says, "Well, wouldn't she have to have permission for recording?" Yeah, so basically what Samantha is alleging is that Meghan Markle told her agent, "This is what I want you to tell them to put into the book." I don't remember if she wrote something down or what, but I don't think it was anything tangible that the the agent was able to hand off. And if it was something tangible, it sounds like it may have been the notes from the agent rather than direct communication from Meghan Markle. So if Meghan Markle was communicating with her secretary for the purposes of doing this book, then yes, she would have gave them permission to record. But it doesn't sound like there was a recording at all. And if anything, it was just the secretary making notes of what points she wanted to make. That's what it seems like to me. I don't know all the way. Elise Lynch says, this is my first taste of Meghan Markle and Samantha Markle case, and it already seems frivolous on Samantha's part. It's like, who cares? Who cares if you walked her to school when she was 5? We don't care. Julia 543 says, Joe W. I was luckily diagnosed as a kid, but I'm still learning more about certain things. I do that are common for those with ADHD. It's so nice to be with kind people who understand. I think a lot of people in the YouTube LawTube community have ADHD. And sometimes I think I should probably get checked out too. But I don't know. I think I'm kind of scared to check it out. I don't know if I even have the right, symptoms of it. So, but I feel like a lot of us in this community have ADHD. So nothing, it's good. Learn to work with it. It's nothing to be ashamed of at all. Deacon Fiddle says, okay, who is Finding Freedom? This was a book that was published by Carolyn and Obi. I forgot the person's name already. Allegedly making statements that Meghan Markle made to explain her relationship with Samantha Markle. Kimmy Locker says, Legal Eagle recently released a video on the origins of Florida Man. I haven't seen it. Asher Mama, hello. Welcome back to the live stream. Nice to see you. Everyone's saying hi. Casa Sass says, so Joe, both my youngest are on the autism spectrum. I don't want to put all of y'all business out there. I know y'all are having a good little chat. Julia 543 says, Bree, you are great. And think about how far you have come. Yes, it has been quite a journey. I'm loving every step of the journey. It can get frustrating a little bit, but I love being here. So that's what makes it easy to keep going. But I definitely appreciate all of your support, helping me, like giving me ideas and things that you like, giving me feedback. It's always helpful to the channel. So thank you so much, everyone. Oh, the chat disappeared. It was from Julia. Thank you so much. But I love doing this, and I'm happy to be here doing this with y'all. All right, guys, remember, if you haven't hit the like button and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so. We are at 70 likes. Good job. Thank you. Thank you, Bree. Hi, we're at 70 likes. If you haven't hit the like button, go ahead and hit it. Tanya D says, he sure did, to Kimmy. It's in my watch for later playlist for the Legal Eagle for the one he just posted. Okay, let's see. Plaintiff also tries to distinguish claimant. And so she's basically trying to say her case is different than these cases, so the court should still go with her argument. So she basically has no supporting case law for this argument, right? Distinguishable from claimant versus City Pages. Another case, defendant cites for the proposition that she cannot be held liable for statements in a book that she did not publish. Plaintiff argues that the claim failed because plaintiff did not allege a link to the defendant's involvement with the false and defamatory material. This is inaccurate. The plaintiff and claimant sued a blogger named Ken Evador, among others, for defamation. His claim against Evador was based on a news article that Evador was a source for but did not write. Evador did, however, email one of his blog posts to the author, and he was credited as the source of the allegedly defamatory information in the article itself. The article also quoted him directly. Nevertheless, the court held that Evador was not liable for any statement in the article because he did not publish it. So even if Meghan Markle would have wrote the words on the paper, handed it to her publisher, or handed it to her communicator, and then the communicator handed it to the publisher, Meghan Markle still would not be liable, basically, because maybe it was, his was a blog post and he still was not liable. So I don't really understand. I guess I thought that would be the only way she would be liable here, but I guess she wouldn't even be liable if she did that. So looks like Meghan is in good standing here. Here, plaintiff similarly accuses defendant of providing defamatory information that was later published by someone else. Can't control what other people do, right? As such, her attempts to distinguish the case are unavailing. Moreover, unlike the article in Clayman, Finding Freedom does not quote defendant or cite her as the source of the allegedly defamatory statements. This makes it even clearer that plaintiff has not sufficiently alleged publication. Finally, as the hearing on this motion, plaintiff's counsel argued that Florida law recognizes defamation claims based on third-party republication. So here we go. Let's see if we can get that vicarious liability. Specifically, he claimed that a plaintiff can satisfy the publication requirement by alleging that the defendant passed along defamatory information that could have reasonably foreseen would be republished. Plaintiff's counsel relied on Granada Centeno versus Lara in support of this proposition. Let's see how she got it wrong this time. The court is not persuaded by this argument. Apart from a few outlier cases, Florida law does not recognize defamation claims based on third-party republication. And the Lara court itself only mentioned this concept in passing. Specifically, it stated in a footnote that there was evidence in the case suggesting republication of defamatory statements by a third party. It asserted that when there is such evidence, the defendant is liable only if the republication was reasonably foreseeable, which is generally a fact for the jury. However, Lara did not rely on any Florida precedent to support this statement, instead citing cases from Iowa, Virginia, and Wisconsin, and Florida said they are not listening to those states. Since then, at least 3 courts in the district have explicitly refused to adopt Lara on the basis that the footnote was mere dicta. Just words. It's just words. The court rejected the republication doctrine, noting the only authority cited by plaintiff on this point is dicta in a footnote in the 1986 Florida Appellate Court. Not from 1986. They already told you this 30 what, almost 40 years ago? Okay, let's see. Where are we at? Case and citation for dicta by a federal district court in New Jersey. The court does not find that Lara dicta is sufficient to establish the law of Florida at this point. Let's see, finding is sufficient. More recently, Anderson versus Smith held that reasonably foreseeable third-party republication does not satisfy the publication element. We can't control what other people do. The court agrees, thus plaintiff claims as to the statements in the Finding Freedom will be dismissed because she fails to allege that defendant published them. Under Rule 15, Federal Civil Procedure provides courts should freely give leave to amend when justice requires. In this case, it does not require. It's not. What is the word? I freaking forgot what I was saying. They don't think that there's a reason that she should be able to bring it. So here are the defects in plaintiff's claim regarding Finding Freedom cannot be cured through amendment. Defendant did not publish the book, and plaintiff cannot plausibly state a claim for defamation based on it. As such, the court will dismiss the plaintiff's claim arising from Finding Freedom with prejudice, and amendment will be futile. They're not going to allow them to be able to bring this one back. But for the CBS interview, that is a different story that we're talking about here. So let's jump into that in just a moment. All right. Let's see. Deacon Fatal says, I do speak on my disability to help because I didn't know how many people it affects. That makes sense. Julia says to Deacon Fatal, don't mind me asking what CPTSD does. That means complex PTSD or PTSD. Let's see. I don't know the answer to that, so I'm going to skip over that. Y'all are having a full-on conversation. We are not even talking about the case anymore. Let me find out. Y'all just come to hang out and you're not even listening to what I'm saying. Oh my gosh. Elise Lynch says, I think the stigma has not talking about it is why suicide is such a problem. That makes sense. Let's see. I'm trying not to put all y'all stuff on blast here, but y'all are putting y'all own stuff on blast in the chat. And you know I read the chat. You guys know I read the chat. Okay. We're gonna go back into the article because we got halfway to go still, and you guys are having full on conversations in the chat. Let me see, which I love. Keep dropping things in the chat. But let's see, we got 75 likes. All right, we are on our way. We only need 25 more likes to hit 100. So hopefully we get some people popping in to help us out and get our likes up. Let's see what the peeps are, or not what the peeps are saying, but what the order is saying. As far as the CBS interview goes, plaintiffs' remaining 3 claims are based on statements from defendants' interview with Oprah Winfrey. The court will address each one in turn. Statement number 1 from the CBS interview. And Samantha Markle, your half-sister on your father's side, has written a supposedly tell-all book about you. What is your relation? Her saying that she grew up as the only child. I'm not rereading that whole paragraph. The amended complaint alleges that defendant falsely said she was the only child. Defendant contends that she in fact said she grew up as the only child, that this statement is protected opinion, and that how she feels about her own childhood is not falsifiable and therefore not actionable. Plaintiff responds that this statement was one of fact and that it made an apparent that she was opportunistic of the worst kind. Statements that cannot reasonably be interpreted as stating actual facts about an individual cannot support a cause of action for defamation. Likewise, opinions cannot be defamatory. Although peer opinions are protected, mixed expression of opinion are not. The test for determining whether statements are protected opinions is whether the statements are capable of being proved false. Opinions with no provable false connotations cannot support a defamation claim. In determining the basic question of whether certain language is defamatory, the words used are not to be construed or taken in the mildest or most grievous sense, but should be construed as the common mind would understand it. In my opinion, her just saying how she felt about her childhood. After making this determination, the court can dismiss a claim if it finds that the allegedly defamatory statement is non-actionable. Let's see here. Here, a reasonable listener would not think that defendant was suggesting that she has no half-siblings, that plaintiff does not actually exist, or that plaintiff is not related to her. This is what I've been saying from the beginning. It's just how she feels about it. Let's see. Holding that to be actionable, a defamatory publication must convey to a reasonable reader the expression that it describes actual facts about the plaintiff or the activities in which he participated. Nor does plaintiff argue that defendant's statement would be understood this way. So she's basically not pleading the proper facts to this, but they're going to give her an opportunity to fix it. While I'm streaming, Disney Mom said with a $2 super chat, thank you so much for the super chat, saying we are listening. I promise. It's okay. I know we can double task, right? We can multitask. We can listen and we can type about other things. But I just don't want to put y'all stuffs on blast because I know it could be, serious and people might rewatch and I'm like, hey, this person has this issue. But I don't want to put that on blast for y'all, but I don't mind you guys talking about other things. I just want to, make sure I'm not reading it on screen. Okay, let's see. Joe W says, I'm listening, Bree. Haha. This case is important to me. I just got distracted and we started a secondary topic. Oops. It's no problem, guys. No problem, guys. Elevated here if you're curious. Okay. Cassie says that, I agree that how she feels about her childhood isn't falsifiable. I'm in agreement with that too. Again, thank you, Disney Mom, for the super chat. All righty. Let's say Elise says, that's what I've been thinking about. Come on, don't leave me here. That's what I've been thinking about this whole case. You can feel how you feel about your childhood. It's not like she accused Samantha Markle of something she didn't do. Right. But I feel like Samantha Markle is like, oh, you're saying I wasn't there for you in your childhood. That's almost like, something to be offended by your parent, not necessarily your sibling. So I don't know what her issue is regarding this. I don't know what her issue is regarding this. MG Mustang 05 says Disney mom is a superstar. Yes, of course. Of course she is. Love to see it. Deacon Fatal says this family sounds like food. It just sounds like drama. They got a lot going on here, right? Okay, in determining whether an allegedly defamatory statement is an expression of fact or an expression of rhetorical hyperbole, context is paramount. All of the circumstances surrounding the publication must be considered. Defendant's statement came in response to a question about her relationship with plaintiff. She replied that she did not really know plaintiff and that she grew up as an only child. Further, she says, would have loved to have had siblings. As a reasonable listener would understand it, defendant merely expresses an opinion about her childhood and her relationship with her half-siblings. Thus, the court finds that defendant's statement is not objectively verifiable or subject to empirical proof. Yeah, it'll be hard. Plaintiff cannot plausibly disprove defendant's opinion on her own childhood, that she grew up as an only child and wished she had siblings. Because the statement is not capable of being proved false, it is protected from defamation action. Thus, the court justified in dismissing the claim. So, now, what probably would have been actionable is, what is your relationship with Samantha Markle? Oh, I don't really know her. That is not my sister. She's been out here saying she's my sister, and she is not my sister. We are not biologically related. Like, if she would have said that, then sure, that's, you can prove that as false. You do a DNA test. I guess if she's adopted, that could be iffy because technically it would become your sibling if it's adopted. But is the adoption relationship just for the parents? Because you don't really adopt your siblings. But then they become your siblings for purposes of distributing assets. So I don't know. But if she would have just came out straight and said, that is not my sister, we don't have any DNA, I don't know that lady, then she would have had a cause of action. But saying I grew up as an only child, I wish I had siblings. The way I take that is I wish I had siblings my age, because let's remember Samantha Markle was a grown woman, probably having her own children when Meghan Markle, for majority of Meghan Markle's childhood. She was 17 years older than her. So by time Meghan can start comprehending things, Samantha was already off living her life having children probably, right? Okay. It's not being capable. The court is justified in dismissing the claim. Considering the permissive language of Rule 15, and because plaintiff has not had an opportunity to amend after an order of the court analyzing her claims, this claim will be dismissed without prejudice. Although the court questions plaintiff's ability to state a claim for the relief based on this statement, plaintiff will be given one final opportunity to replead it if she chooses. Basically saying that the court does not have much confidence that she will be able to show that it's defamatory, but since there may be a reason that she can show it, they'll let her bring it back if she can do it, but it's potentially that they could still reject it after that. All right, let's see where we are. Cassasas says, but even if she said that, is that defamatory to say that she's, what I was saying about we're not biologically related? No, I guess that wouldn't be defamatory to say, I guess that wouldn't be defamatory because that would just be, it would be a lie. But to say you're not related to someone, I don't know. I guess because she's claiming that she's her sister, then you can kind of flip it. That is, I don't even think the way that she has it in here is defamatory, even if it was true. Even if she said I was the only child, I don't see how that could be defamatory either. So I agree with you, Cassasas. I agree with you heavily. I don't see how that is defamatory. It's just I don't really know her. Now, the thing about her, trying to hop on her coattail after she got with Harry, that could be defamatory, saying she's opportunistic. But just saying that's not her sibling, maybe false, but I don't see it as being defamatory. Other than that, it will ruin her chances to sell her book, which interferes with her ability to make a livelihood. So I guess, but as far as it, I guess it's embarrassing to say that someone's your sibling and they say that you're not their sibling. I guess it can be embarrassing, but defamatory, I think I'm right there with you, Cass. Chris Delores says, I have to come back and watch the replay. Have a great night, everyone. Well, thank you for joining us live. Hope to see you in the comments on the replay crew. Guys, if you haven't already, please do hit the like button. It definitely helps out the stream and helps us get more friends. Deacon Fatal says, it's just way too messy. It is messy. And it's almost like, why are you offended by some of this stuff? You're like 58 years old. Let's get over it, Let's get over it. Laura Howard says, question to me. Do you think that Lord Torcha from Escape can be charged with wire fraud? I haven't seen that story yet. So I can't answer it today. I read something about Tamar Braxton's husband being charged. Was it Tamar? I think it was Tamar Braxton's husband being charged, or ex-husband being charged with fraud. But I haven't seen about is her name LaTorcha? But the lady from Escape, I haven't seen that yet. Let's see. Saying night to Chris. Deacon Vettel says, "Oh, so wanted the prince." No. So when when Meghan started dating Prince Harry, is when Samantha allegedly changed her last name back to Markle, basically to associate herself like, oh, that's my sister. Let me tell you all about her childhood. I'm going to write a book. Oh, you don't believe she's my sister? Look, we have the same last name. So not that she wanted Harry, but that she wanted to associate with Meghan Markle and Harry as like a reliable source because she's related to them, if that makes sense. Or related to Meghan. Deli Moo says, yeah, my oldest sister is 18 years older. She is like an auntie. Yeah, it's almost not like a sibling relationship. They come more as a motherly or what do you call it? Kind of more of an authoritative figure rather than like a sibling that you're going to be running around pushing down on the playground, right? Right. Kimmy says to Elise Lynch, my 14-year-old years older sister always says she broke in my dad for me, and my 20-month younger brother had it made in the shade. Yeah, that happens. The older one always has to go through a bunch of stuff. Right? Tanya was saying, good question to that. Yeah, I haven't seen the story yet, so I'll try to find it. Disney Mom says, I thought by that time they lived in the same apartment complex. I don't remember everything all the way, but she is alleging that she did live with them for some time. But when I picture siblings, I picture more of like people the same, someone you can play with, that you guys are going to be interested in the same stuff. Like, of course, you can have older siblings, but are you guys going to really have as close of a bond as if you were 1 to 2 years apart than if you're 20 years apart? That's what I'm seeing it as. Hella Swanky says, yeah, I take it the same way. I've never wished for siblings. I love being an only child, but even saying that, I have halves plus step siblings, but with a 20-year age gap, I consider myself to be an only child. Yes, I think a lot of people would. Elise Lynch says to Kimmy, my older sister should say the same. She's 10 years almost to the day. Oh, that's perfect. They wanted to have a baby around the same time of the year. That's how my mom is. Me and my brother's birthday are like 6 days apart, and then my sister's birthdays are like a week apart. So yeah, having babies all around the same time is a thing. Deacon Fatal says, I haven't even watched the Netflix mess on this story because why? I haven't watched the Netflix yet either. Hello Swanky says, in the words of BJ investigates, facts ain't defamation. Right, exactly. That's not defamation. Deli Moo says Samantha just got her feelings hurt, her pee-pees hurt. That's all. This fam is messy and I'm here for it. And she says she doesn't want to be in the limelight, but it just almost feels like she wants to be in the limelight because who gets offended by stuff like that? I don't know. I'm not even that old and I wouldn't be offended by that. And I am around the same age as my siblings, and I could probably get mad at it, but would it be defamatory? I don't think so. Fatal says this family gives me gas with their nonsense. Seb says Meghan is 3 years older than her niece Ashley, Samantha's oldest daughter. Samantha lost custody of Ashley very early on in the paternal grandparents, and the paternal grandparents raised her. Yeah, I thought that was a part of this complaint too, but I have not seen this in this order. So that one must still be standing. Those claims must still be standing. So I know we're all posting that she won the lawsuit, but I'm pretty sure that's a part of the initial part of the lawsuit too. Unless those have been dropped somewhere. Oh, I need to figure that out. Is the whole case over? Because I thought that was part of the lawsuit. I just haven't seen it here yet. All right, I digress. Let's get going. In this case, we still got quite a few to get through. According to the amended complaint, defendant told Oprah and millions of viewers that she had only met plaintiff a handful of times. However, this statement is nowhere to be found in the interview script. You cannot, you have to, it has to actually be said, not what you interpreted it as. Okay, lady. According to plaintiff, it is a paraphrased version of the following statement. No, you can't paraphrase it. The last time I saw her must have been at least 18, 19 years ago. And before that, 10 years before that. Meghan Markle is 41. So that would make sense that she saw her when she was probably like 5 years old, and she took her to school once or twice. And then saw her again when she was like almost 20. And yeah, that would make sense as far as age goes. Defendants argue that the claim should be dismissed because the statement is not in the transcript and was not said. The term handful is too vague to be subject to objective measurement or falsified. It is substantially true that the two have only met a handful of times, and the statement is not capable of being defamatory. And why are you offended? How is that defamatory? Oh yeah, I've only met them a couple of times. Oh, now Samantha loses her job because she only met Meghan a couple of times. Hey, I've never met Meghan. So am I gonna lose my job? Am I gonna lose my platform here? I don't know. Plaintiff concedes that the amended complaint does not accurately quote the transcript. However, she argues that her version of the statement was evidenced by what defendant actually said. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. She needs to say, no, I saw her on this date in 2021. Okay, so that is not true. And even if it's true, is it defamatory? Even the thing is, if she can prove that these statements are true, these particular statements, even if she can prove that they're true, I'm with Cass the Sass. They don't seem defamatory. Because you're interpreting that someone will insinuate that you're opportunistic based on what she said. So I don't think these are defamatory. Now, saying she lost her kids and got them taken away if she didn't, then yes, that may be defamatory. But saying that you only met somebody a handful of times, I don't see how that can be defamatory. I'm with Cast the Sass on this one. Let's see. The court analysis will begin and end with defendant's first argument. As discussed below, defendant is correct that the allegedly defamatory statement is not in the transcript. More importantly, however, plaintiff altered versions of the statement differs in substance from anything defendant said. This is fatal to plaintiff's claim because her amended complaint thus fails to plausibly allege that defendant made a false statement, and falsity is an element of her claim. A plaintiff is not required to allege a defamatory statement verbatim, nor must a claim for oral defamation set up the defamatory statement with particularity. Nevertheless, when bringing a defamation action premised on oral statements, a plaintiff must set out the substance of the spoken words with suspicion. It's so many so many S's and P's. Spoken words with sufficient particularity to enable the court to determine whether the publication was defamatory. Okay, quotes. Additionally, plaintiff must specify that false statements or statements caused her injuries. saying that you only met her a handful of times lost you a book deal. I don't know. I don't know if that's the case here. And the element of false, I guess it will interrupt her credibility in the statements that she's making in her book. Maybe, but still, no, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not buying it. And the element of falsity is only met if the publication is substantially or materially false. According to plaintiff, defendant said they had only met a handful of times. In fact, according to the transcript, defendant merely stated that the approximate dates of plaintiff and defendant's last two meetings. The last time I saw her must have been, and it's estimation, 18, 19 years ago, and before that, 10 years before that. Plaintiff does more than paraphrase defendant's words. She substantively changes the meaning of what she said. She alleges that it is false, and she alleges that it is false that she and defendant have only met a handful of times. In other words, she claims that they have met more than a handful of times. However, this claim and defendant's actual statement that the parties last saw each other approximately 19 years ago and another 10 years before that could easily both be true. Yes, you could have seen her several times. You could have taken her to school one time. You could have taken her to school 10 times when she was 5. But that doesn't take away the fact that the last time she saw you was 29 years ago, you know? So they can both be true at the same time, is what the court is saying. I completely agree with that. Having compared the allegation in the amended complaint to the transcript of the interview, the court finds that plaintiff has failed to plausibly allege that defendant made a substantially and materially false statement, as she must do so to state a claim. Defendant's allegations are implausible because they expressly contradict the records. Thus, her claim does not allow. I think they meant to put plaintiffs. Plaintiffs' allegations are implausible because they are expressly contradicted by the record. Thus, her claim does not allow the court to draw a reasonable inference. You cannot infer that, right? That the defendant is liable for the misconduct alleged. Plaintiff's claim is due to be dismissed. However, for reasons expressed above or below, the claim will be denied without prejudice with leave to amend. So she can go ahead and say she stated that we hadn't seen each other in 19 years when in fact I was at her house for Christmas 3 years ago. So she can say something like that. Let's see. Another interview, statement number 3. Finally, the amended complaint alleges that defendant said plaintiff only changed her surname to Markle after Meghan started dating Prince Harry so that plaintiff could cash in on her newfound fame. Now that could be defamatory because it's like you're just chasing the popularity, right? That can be defamatory. I'll give her that statement. Defendant argues that the second half of the quote, so that plaintiff could cash in on her newfound fame, is fabricated. I mean, that could be opinion, honestly. In my opinion, that could be opinion. She asserts that the remainder of the statement is substantially true. Okay. So she admits that she changed her name around that time. Okay. All right. Let's see how you come up with her opinion of why you changed your last name, because that is opinion. She did not say she told me she did it. She told other people she did it. Okay, let's see. She asserts that the remainder of the statement is substantially true and submits state court dockets showing plaintiff using different surnames as late as September 2016. Different last names as of 2016. When she started dating Harry, she changed her name back to Markle, right? Plaintiff responds that the second half of the statement was defamatorily implied. Plaintiff does not specify what about defendant's statement was false, which alone is sufficient grounds for dismissal. The complaint fails to specify what about the alleged defamatory statement is inaccurate or misleading, however, and therefore fails to state a claim for defamation to this part of the report. The amended complaint merely presents the alleged statement and asserts that it is not true. Separately, like the previous statement, the claim is due to be dismissed because it explicitly contradicts by the transcript. How here, the amended complaint did not enclose the entire statement in quotation marks. However, as plaintiff's counsel conceded, it is paraphrased, again, paraphrasing, right? The statement by adding the word so that Mrs. Markle could cash in on her newfound fame. In fact, the interview transcript shows that defendant said the following. Okay, so you all weren't close. You didn't grow up together. No, she didn't really know you. No, she changed. Why is that your answer to she changed? Why is that your answer to what Oprah said though? Okay, that is a little shady. So you don't really know her? No, she changed her name when she saw I was dating Harry. Like, no. That's a big jump, Meghan. That I'm coming at you for that one. That was a big jump. Okay, so so she doesn't really know you. No, she changed her last name back to Markle, and I think she's in her early 50s at the time. Only when I started dating Harry, so I think that says enough. So she did not say she and Samantha, ma'am. I cannot, Samantha. I did not even realize that it's not even said like that in the interview, like she's claiming. The statement says, no, she changed her last name back to Markle, and I think she's in her early 50s at the time. Only when I started dating Harry. And so I think that says enough. So Samantha took it as that, oh, she's basically inferring that I'm trying to chase fame because I am trying to chase fame, but I don't want her to call me out for chasing fame. But technically, Meghan never said it. She just said, I think that says enough. You can infer what you want to infer. You can say she changed her last name to get back close to me. You can say she changed her name to start, being associated with Harry. But I don't know. Samantha, you're paraphrasing. I don't like it. Okay. A plaintiff's attempt to plead viable cause of action may be defeated by her own evidence. Yeah, you said you changed your name back to Markle when she started dating Harry. So what were you trying to do, ma'am? And then you write a tell-all book after you change your last name. What were you trying to do? You didn't change your last name when she was on Suits, okay? Oh my gosh. Our duty to accept the facts in the complaint as true does not require us to ignore specific factual details of the pleadings in favor of general or conclusory allegations. Conclusory allegations and unwarranted deductions of fact are not admitted as true, especially when such conclusions are contradicted by facts disclosed by a document appended to the complaint. If the appended, I've never seen appended. I'm not familiar with that word, but I guess you pin it to the document, I guess. Makes sense. If the appended document to be treated as part of the complaint for all purposes under Rule 10C of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure reveals facts which foreclose recovery as a matter of law, dismissal is appropriate here. The amended complaint accuses defendant of saying plaintiff changed her surname so that she could cash in on her newfound fame. Again, plaintiff's claim is explicitly contradicted by the transcript. She didn't say that. Thus, the court cannot draw a reasonable inference that the defendant is liable for the statement. Plaintiff's claim is dismissed without prejudice for the reasons expressed below. She will be allowed one final opportunity to state upon which relief can be granted. So the court is not filling her inferences. Just because she felt the type of way for being called out for what she did does not mean Meghan said it. All right, let me see what some of the chats are saying here. All right, Ari, welcome into the live stream. Another member of the channel saying, sure, but I think there's a difference between permitting a certain group of people to document your life and give you money for the privilege and TMZ hiding in the shrubbery. I don't know exactly. I think you guys are having a conversation. MG Mustang 05 says these people need to get a job at Walmart and learn about real life. Learn about real life. We're arguing over she said she's not my sister. You remember like when you were a kid and your sibling, like your little sibling gets mad at you and like, you're not my sister anymore. Imagine if you brought a lawsuit because of that. When we were 5, she said I wasn't her sister anymore, and that is false. And that's a false because I am still her sister, even though she was mad that I stole her Barbie. That's what this looks like. That's what this looks like. Let's get them some jobs at Walmart and see how, so they can live real life, right? Let's see. Cassie says, Ari, 100% nobody should have to worry about pictures being taken of them inside their home or while they're on their private property. I think I missed whatever comment you guys made it there. Greetings and salutations. Disney Mom says the Obamas have never written about their dirty laundry, having sex in a field, using drugs, tallying their kills in war, they then wanting their privacy but letting Netflix follow them around for a year. Right. Upset Bouguette says, defeated by her own evidence. Haha. Yes, she said, I did change my name around the time that she started dating Harry, but it wasn't for the newfound fame that Meghan never actually said that's what it was for. You know, you inferred that yourself. Deacon Fiddle says, okay, why do I feel like Paris might be a part of this later if it goes that far? I don't know who Paris is. Ari says, I think we expect celebs to be more mature than the average bear, but if a bunch of people were slathering my business in the news, I would totally go on Oprah too. When they go low, I go lower. Yeah, because you have to kind of be able to defend yourself, right? Deli Moose says appended. I think it means like attached, attached to the complaint. Ari says, even if that's absolutely not what I should do, I don't know exactly what you're referring to. Cassie says, oh wow, Brie, I totally missed that she changed her name after Meghan Markle started dating Harry. Jeez Louise. Yes, I don't think that's the thing is, did Meghan throw shade when she said that? Yes. Did Meghan probably want Oprah to infer that she changed her last name so that she could get on the newfound fame? Maybe, but she didn't say that. And you would have to think that everyone would be just as offended as Samantha to come to that conclusion. Now, did Samantha actually changed her last name to come on the newfound fame? Maybe, and that's probably why she felt like it was rude. that's what I'm getting out of it. Deacon Fatal says she isn't famous. Who is she? Are we talking about Meghan Markle's sister? She is Meghan Markle's sister. Deacon Fatal says my brain and balls are doing the most. Disney Mom says if I went on Oprah, I would make sure I was telling the truth. It has been proven some of those stories were false. I don't think she said anything false so far, though. I don't think she said anything false so far. But potentially, right? If you infer what Samantha wants us to infer, then sure, maybe. But how do we prove why Samantha changed her last name? How do we prove that? Samantha's going to tell us, no, I didn't change. I changed my last name so I could be closer to my father, which is weird at, almost 60. I don't know. Your last name being the same as your father's is not going to make that much of a difference at that age, right? So we don't know what her actual reason was for changing her last name, and she can tell us anything. But the facts kind of show, okay, when Meghan got in a relationship with Harry, that's when you change your last name. So maybe you did want a newfound fame. Who knows? We don't know. And we definitely don't believe you, Samantha. I don't know. Hello Swanky says to Ari, I don't know if it's maturity as much as it is PR politeness that we expect. Still, I agree with you nonetheless. The time Deacon Fatal says TMZ always does the most. Julia says, now I want to make Monty Python chubbery jokes. Okay, everyone laughing. Tanya D says, that's funny. She's 58 and sound like she's 8. Right, exactly. Julia says 543 says, was I the only one? Only one for which one? Deacon Fatal says, no, I do not expect celebrities to be extra as all get out. Well, they are. Deli Moose says, I unsubscribed to the high road a while back. Makes sense. Ari says, hello, Swanky. Yes, I couldn't think of the right words, but that's exactly what I mean. Let's see. Disney Mom says, H&M, Harry and Meghan never asked for privacy. Don't think so at this point, right? Ari says, hello, Swanky. I think I saw you in the comments of another channel I watch, Isabella Lanter. Diggebeto says, all of a sudden, I want to change my last name to Markle, right? You want to be a Markle too? And then write a tell-all story about her and then say that she's defaming you for saying she does not know you. Okay, let's see. Defendants argue that Florida's single action rule bars plaintiff from bringing multiple causes of action on the same publication as filed in the defamation claim. Let's see here. Separately, defendant claims that plaintiff has not pled special damages. Plaintiff responds that the single action rule does not apply because the claim alleges damages distinct from the defamation claim. She argues that her damages in count 1 are for emotional distress, whereas the damages in this count are tied to her business. Plaintiff also claims that she has sufficiently pled special damages as related to her counseling business and book sales. Okay. She claimed that she had clients and now nobody wants to work with her. I don't know. The tort of injurious falsehood protects the economic interest of an injured party, but was she injured? Okay, whatever. Against pecuniary loss, in contrast to defamation, which protects the personal reputation of the injured person. The gist of injurious falsehood is intentional interference with another's economic relations. I don't think she can get to intentional interference with that. She didn't say don't buy her book because she changed her name back to Markle to gain fame from me. So I don't know if that's intentional. The elements of an injurious falsehood claim are falsehood that has been published or communicated to a third person. She can prove the second prong, but I don't know about the first prong. When the defendant publisher knows or reasonably should know that it will likely result in inducing others not to deal with the plaintiff. And in fact, the falsehood does play a material and substantial part in inducing others not to deal with the plaintiff, and special damages are approximately caused as a result of the published falsehood. I don't think that you can infer that people would not want to buy her book after she said that, because I don't think Meghan ever mentioned that she had a book or what she was doing or that she was a counselor. So I don't know if she can get to the intentional I don't think she can get to the intentional interference. A single action rule. Under the single action rule, when claims are based on analogous underlying facts and causes of actions are intended to compensate for the same alleged harm, a plaintiff may not proceed on multiple counts for what is essentially the same defamatory publication or event. Here, plaintiff claims an injurious falsehood based on the same statements as her defamation claims. Thus, under the single action rule, her injurious falsehood claims must be dismissed, as with the defamation claims based on the CBS interview. The court will allow plaintiff one final opportunity to amend her injurious falsehood claim. Florida courts have disagreed as to whether the single action rule applies only when the non-defamation torts are associated with a failed defamation claim. The court need not reach this issue, however, because plaintiff's defamation claims have all been dismissed at this point. Florida's anti-SLAPP statute, I can say what I want, right? Defendant moves for fees and costs under Florida's anti-SLAPP statute. She argues that plaintiff's lawsuit is meritless and was brought because defendant exercised her right to free speech in connection with a public issue. Plaintiff responds that the statute does not cover defendant's statement and that her lawsuit has merit. It does not have merit. The whole thing just got dismissed. You're going to bring it back and it's going to get dismissed again. You're just wasting everybody's time and money at this point. The statute prohibits a person from filing a cause of action against another person or entity without merit, or primarily because such person or entity has exercised the constitutional right of free speech in connection with a public issue. Free speech is defined as, in connection with a public issue, as any written or oral statement that is protected under the applicable law and is made in or connection with play, movie, television program, radio broadcast, audiovisual work, book, magazine, article, musical work, news report, or other similar work. The statute provides that the court shall award the prevailing party reasonable attorney's fees and costs incurred in connection with the claim that an action was filed in violation of this section. As a threshold matter, neither party argues that the statute does not apply in federal court. For that reason, the court will follow the numerous decisions from this district that have applied the statute. All of these cases here that we're going to skim through. A defendant seeks to utilize the statute's free shifting provision, which entitles a prevailing defendant to an award of attorney's fees and costs. To claim these entitlements, a moving defendant must make two showings: that the action is without merit and that it is filed primarily because the defendant exercised a protected right. She did her protection under First Amendment right to speak about a public thing, and it's without merit because she failed to even state a claim, right? The statute only provides for attorney's fees and costs incurred in connection with the claim that an action was filed in violation of this section. In other words, fees and costs incurred in connection with the anti-SLAPP motion itself, not the entire action. It further appears that fees and costs can only be awarded after a hearing. Here, a defendant argues that her allegedly defamatory statements qualified as speech on a public issue because they were made in connection with a book and a television program, respectively. She argues that plaintiff's suit is without merit for reasons discussed in the motion to dismiss. Of course, and I'm tired of writing. Florida's First District Court of Appeals has underscored the difficulty of ruling on the anti-SLAPP motion in the early stages of the case. We see that proving an action is without merit and filed primarily because the defendant exercised a protected right will naturally be difficult in a motion to dismiss, looking only to the face of the complaint. Because plaintiff may be able to state a claim for defamation after amending her complaint, court, you and I both know she's not going to be able to state a claim. Whatever, let's let him have it. The court cannot determine the lawsuit was filed without merit. Okay, where we at? Denying they're given that quote. Thus, it would be premature to grant defendant's request at this phase of the litigation. Makes sense. They want to wait a little bit towards the end of the case. Nevertheless, upon review, the court does not agree that defendant is entitled to an award of fees and costs at the juncture because the court has not addressed the merits of plaintiff's claim, nor has the court made the finding that plaintiff's lawsuit as a whole is without merit. She has the opportunity to amend. Under the anti-SLAPP statute, where a court determined that the suit was without merit and arose from protected First Amendment activity. All right. The court will deny without prejudice, meaning that Meghan Markle can bring this back when it's time. The court will deny without prejudice defendant's request for fees under the statute as it lacks sufficient information to rule on whether the suit is entirely without merit or was filed primarily or solely to suppress defendant's exercise of free speech in connection with a public issue. Defendant may renew her request for fees under the statute at the conclusion of the litigation. In conclusion, for the foregoing reasons, the court grants the motion to dismiss plaintiff's claim based on finding freedom will be dismissed with prejudice. She cannot bring it back, as plaintiff cannot plausibly allege defendant published the book, and amendment of these claims would be futile. Plaintiff will be allowed one final opportunity to replead her claims related to defendant's CBS interview and her claim for injurious falsehood. Accordingly ordered, defendant motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim is granted. Plaintiff's defamation claims based on the contents of the book Finding Freedoms are dismissed without prejudice. Plaintiff's defamation claims based on defendant CBS interviews and her claim for injurious falsehoods are dismissed with the other one was dismissed with prejudice, and this one is dismissed without prejudice. I don't know. I think I read that wrong. For the foregoing reasons, plaintiff may file an amended complaint within 14 days of this order. Defendant's requests for attorney's fees and costs under anti-SLAPP statute are denied without prejudice as it is premature. Done and ordered. I haven't seen done and ordered, but that's That's an interesting way to put it. Woo, we made it through the whole thing. I did not think we were going to make it through the whole thing. I only skipped like very little. So I wanted to go back up to see if the statements about her losing her daughter was in the book or in the publication. So defendant's path crossed only twice. There's only a picture. Defendant reached the son. Lifelong ambition. Defendant grew up, barely saw her. Half sisters, was not invited to her wedding. Asked the father to intervene. I thought something about her losing her child was also in the complaint, but maybe it wasn't. So I'll look into. I have the complaint too, but we're not gonna look into that right now because I think I may be mistaken. Let's see if I can get to the statements that she's alleging in the complaint. Actually. Let's see. What are her statements? I'm trying to find the statements that she made from the book she's trying to allege. Okay, yeah. So this looks like it was included. Let's see. What was that under, though? Actual knowledge, intent, and the information. Defendant intentionally with actual malice published the following false and defamatory stories with full knowledge of the falsity thereof, with a specific intent to cause substantial harm and damage plaintiff's reputation and good name. Samantha dropped out of high school. Meghan saw Samantha only a handful of times. Okay, that was never had a relationship with any of them. Oh, you know what? This is the amended complaint. So did she? Oh, she must have dropped those out of the amended complaint. I mean, this is the first complaint. I don't have the amended complaint. Okay, I would have to look at the amended complaint to see if this is still in there, because as we can see, it's in the original complaint, but she did file an amended complaint taking some of these things out. So that may be gone now. I'll double check on the amended complaint for when the next part of this case comes out, because she only has a few more days to get this done. I think this was on, this happened on March 30th. So she should have until about the 13th. Was it court days or calendar days? I think it was just calendar days. So she should have until about the 13th to get this done. And we'll be checking in on it once that comes out, if she actually gets it filed on time. All right, let's see what the chat is saying. I'm going to check in some chat. We are almost at 2 hours in the live stream. This is one of our longer live streams in a while. Y'all, we are at 91 likes on this live stream. We only need 9 more likes to get to our 100 like goal. So if you have not hit the like button already, please do go ahead and hit the like button so we can reach our 100 like goal for the live stream. Okay, let's see what the chat is saying here. Let's see. We have Julia 543 saying, no worries to Elise Lynch. I'll happily accept the good night and take care. Elise Lynch says, it's for a future, Julia. Okay, yes, for the future. Disney Mom says, I hope everyone has a good night. Thank you for the enjoyable evening. Stay safe. Good night and goodbye. Thank you for joining in, Disney Mom. It was a great time having you here. And also thank you for the gifted memberships and the super chat. Definitely appreciate it. Casta Sass says, love this chat so much. Dropping the emojis. I'm happy you're loving it. Julia 543 says, exactly to Elise Lynch. And for the future for you, good night and take care too. Deacon Fatal says, gotta check the weather real quick, because putting a cat into a shelter in place is difficult. Gotta make sure everything is prepared. Hopefully your cat doesn't give you too much trouble there. Elise Lynch says, good night to Disney Mom. Thank you again. Yes, thank you so much for the gifted membership and the super chat in the stream. Deacon Fatal will be right back. Elise Lynch says, thank you to Julia. Good night to Disney Mom. I think I missed a lot of your chats up earlier. Hella Swanky says, Ari, I'm not familiar with that name, but I do watch a lot of lives. Oh, sorry, I forgot to pull it up. Do watch a lot of lives. Cool. What do you guys think about the case so far? I think it ought to be dismissed. I'm going to pull up. I got my camera in such a bad position today, but I'm going to pull up What am I going to pull up? The amended complaint to see if some of these statements were taken out, which I'm assuming they are because they said all other statements are dismissed without prejudice. So I'm assuming she removed some of them, but I just don't remember which ones. I'm assuming it's the ones that I thought could actually be proven false, which if she didn't lose her kids, it can be proven false, right? Julia says, hella swanky. I keep recognizing the name of the lady who was on that stream of Breeze you were on a few weeks ago. She does a super sticker to Hogue and seasoned gaming every Sunday. The live stream, who can? Tanya D was on that live stream. Marianne Williams, which I didn't see Marianne today. Marianne Williams was on that live stream. Cheerful Bacon, I think, was on the last members live stream. And I can't remember the other lady. Hella Swanky was on there, but you're talking to Hella Swanky, so I don't think you're referring. And then Deacon Fatal also popped onto that March live stream for the members too. I think that's everybody. I may be missing somebody. MG Mustang 05 says good night to Disney Mom. Have a blessed evening and sleep. Ari says, LOL, the court said, per my last email, as explained below. Julia says, Ari's laughing. Ari says, hella swanky. She does anti-MLM stuff, but now I'm second guessing myself. Deacon Fiddle says, okay, nothing server. Elise Lynch says, a relief to hear, Deacon. Hope you have a kitty. Stay safe. Yes, of course. Hopefully your cat is not getting into things. Julia 543 says, that's good news to Deacon. All right. Always got to stay safe. We made it. Elise Lynch says, great job, Bree. That was a slog, but you made it worth getting through. Thank you. And I don't think anyone has gone through the whole thing yet. So hopefully that was helpful. I think the court made very good opinions on it. I think Samantha should sit down and let it go, but I feel like she's not going to sit down and let it go. Julia says, nice job making it through that, Bree. Yeah, 31 pages. I was not expecting that. I'm glad this was the only story for today. Deacon Fiddle says, okay, that does give me more questions because how did Meghan have anything to do with her losing custody? I think they may have taken, not that she had something to do with her losing custody, but saying that she lost custody and Samantha saying she didn't lose custody. She willingly gave her kids up. I don't know if that's her argument, but she's not saying that Meghan made her lose custody. She's just saying it wasn't true that she lost custody. There's a lot of storms lately. We've been having okay weather here, so not too bad here where I am. Done in order to get out of my sight. I've never seen done in order. I've seen like it is so ordered, but done in order, move along. Move along, basically, is what they're saying, right? Deacon Fiddle says, what does that have to do with her losing custody? It was just one more statement of her saying that Meghan made a false statement about her, which resulted in her losing business and all the other things. Hello, Swanky says to Ari, oh yeah, that wasn't me, but now I got to check her out. I'm here for any anti-MLM content. I like that content too. Just Martin says, just subscribed and liked. Hello, Bree, coming in from Vallejo. Oh, we are pretty close. I am also in California and pretty close to Vallejo. I don't know if I should give out my location. I think some of you guys already know, but yeah, I'm very, very close. Well, I guess now I'm not very, very close, but I grew up very close to Vallejo. Julia 543 says, we're sending prayers, positive energy, not positive injury, positive energy, and all the things to Steph and all those in Little Rocks. Yes, of course. Always with the positive energy. Julia 543 says, hey to Jess Martin, thank you for getting us closer to the 100 like line. Yes, of course. And yes, also thank you for subscribing. Did you just find me live streaming today or did you find me through something else? But I'm happy to have you here for sure. And thank you for getting us closer to 100. Let's see if we're there. Oh, we hit it. We're at 101. We are at 101 likes. Thank you guys so much for supporting and joining in on hitting the like button. We hit 100 likes today. And we had a pretty consistent crowd this live stream too. So that is amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much. Welcoming Jess in. You'll love it here in this community. It's very friendly. They have chats about things I'm not talking about, but that's okay. No, you'll love it here. Everyone's going to be very welcoming to you. We're happy to have you in here, Jess Martin. Elise Lynch says, I think Samantha Markle just had her feelings hurt and wants in on the fame and subsequent book sales from the fame. It doesn't seem defamatory to me. I definitely agree with you there. It does not seem defamatory. Cheryl C says, let's just say I'll be disappointed if she refiles the suit. But definitely not surprised. I think she is going to respond. I really think she is. And then we're going to have to go through this again because she's going to make the statement and it's going to be like, okay, how is that defamatory? If it goes to trial because she makes the statement, I just can't see how it's defamatory. Cassis says Marianne Williams. Julia 543 says that's who it was. Marianne Williams. Thank you. Oh, yeah. I think I remembered everyone that was on that live stream too. If I missed someone, please let me know. Yeah, we missed her tonight. She's a great member, subscriber, follower of the channel. Deacon Fatal says, I think I'm going to sleep and stay unbothered with rich folks and grifters' problems. Don't we all? We just come on here to laugh at what the rich folks got going on. MG Mustang 05. I don't know where I got that from. MG Mustang 05 says the case should be placed in file 13. They need to get rid of it, right? Z Seltzer, all the way through the live stream. Love to see it. Z Seltzer says, I think Samantha Markle didn't argue some of the stuff well enough in the complaint. I agree with that. And now some of those are dismissed with prejudice. Well, the ones that are dismissed with prejudice are coming out of the publication that the court is ruling that Meghan Markle did not make because she didn't write the book. She didn't write was it an article? It was a book. That she didn't write the book. So those ones were going to be dismissed with prejudice anyways. I got to double check on the first amended complaint and see how those ones that were a little stronger are not being considered here. And I'm thinking it's because they got taken out, but I can't remember all the way. Elise Lynch says, I hope you sleep well and dream of pretty things, not celebrity family grift. Right. That is so true. Ari says, I feel bad for the plaintiff. She has MS, and that may be affecting her cognition. This is the U.S., so she probably needs big money for treatment. Can't help but think her attorney is using her. Hopefully that is not the case. I don't know. I don't want to, rely on her disability for making her bring this. I think that will probably be kind of the same issue with Terry Sanderson and with the Gwyneth Paltrow trial and wanting to bring this forward because they really feel like they were wronged. But they don't have a case. And you're right. Her attorney should tell her that instead of just collecting her money, right? Tanya, do you say 99 likes? I think that was before we hit 100. Yes. Julia says, oh, we're so close. Likes are completely free. Yes, they are free. Yes, we did hit 100. I'm behind in chat, huh? All right, everyone's celebrating. Thank you so much. Yes, we're at 100. And are we at 102? No, we are at 103 now. So we beat our goal. I'm happy about that. We beat the goal. MG Mustang 05 says, come on, people, smash the like button. Doesn't cost a penny. Yes, of course. It's free. Just hit the thumbs up. Ari says, but I also don't think the case has merit. It's just sad all around. But sometimes you have to sever relationships, even if it's family. That is true. And like she said, she said that she used to talk to her all the time when she was acting. I don't know if I necessarily believe that. Everyone is celebrating in the chat. Jess Martin said, found me through Emily D. Baker. Awesome. Yeah, I was on her channel kind of a while ago, but yes, love Emily D. Baker. She actually is like one of the legal YouTubers that encouraged me to start live streaming. So all props to Emily D. Baker. I love when the community just kind of intertwines. But I'm happy that you came over to support the Bree Hive too. All right. Deacon Fada saying thank you to chat. Yes, of course. Thank you, chat. We would not have reached the 100 likes if it was not for you. Everybody dropping the emojis that StreamYard takes to show, but you guys can see it in the chat. The members get cool little special emojis to use in the live stream chat. And I think you guys can also use it in comments too, if I'm not mistaken, on the replay. Julia543 says to Jess Martin, welcome law nerd to the Bree Hive. Yes, we have crossovers. We have crossover supporters. I think a lot of people watch a lot of different streams here. Deacon Fatal says, hope not. I don't know exactly what you're referring to. Cassie Sass says, Jess Markle, Emily D. Baker has a live stream from like 6 or 7 months ago with Bree and Natalie, lawyer chick, and that's where I found her. Bree is just a delight. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, that stream with Emily and Natalie was so fun. So if you haven't checked it out, make sure you go on Emily D. Baker's channel and check it out. Was it that long ago? I feel like it wasn't that long, but it probably was that long ago. Ari says, so at least I agree. I think someone or herself is trying to capitalize on her hurt feelings and blowing them up into something way bigger than what it is. Messy family drama. Agreed. I agree with that. Deacon Fatal says, I can hope and have dreams, Bree, can't I? Yes, you can. Just have hopes and dreams to not hear a case, not hear the case again. But I know that I know it's frivolous. We're gonna hear it again. They're gonna bring it back, and we're gonna cover it. Julia says, the MU and G are close, which is how you got mugged. Oh, when I messed up the name. I'm always messing stuff up. And I've been talking for 2 hours straight. I've been talking for 2 hours straight. Hello, Swanky, reminding everyone how to become an official member of the Bree Hive. Thank you so much for reminding the chat of that. Cheryl C says to Cass Sass, I found Bree over on Legal Bites during Dep Be Heard. I agree. She is a delight. Oh, thank you. Yes, I try to pop on to other people's stream and intrude, but I'm happy some of you followed me over here. It's a good time. It's a good time. That's a good point. Elise says, Ari, a lawyer capitalizing on her makes sense too. They should tell her. I agree with you guys there. They should tell her, like, hey, let's just let it go. But sometimes people are super stuck in their ways, like, no, I have a case. Let's go for it. Hello, Swanky says, big thanks to everyone for getting Bree to the 100 likes goal tonight. Good looking out, Bree Hive. Yes, of course, we are at 104. Z Celtic says, but there was a legal case in about how Meghan Markle and Harry were secretly feeding the author info and she needed to connect the dots better. Yeah, so that the court took that into consideration and basically, even though she was feeding them information, still said she wasn't liable. So I don't think she would have been able to get it on those books anyways, based off of what I read. If you guys had different interpretations, please feel free to comment it on the replay. But I think the court would have denied it even if Meghan did feed the information to them if it wasn't fully directly. But even some of the cases they cited, it was direct, and they said third person republication was not okay. And I'm not a defamation lawyer, so I don't know all the rules on it, okay? Julia says, to not hear a frivolous case, Deacon Fatal, I don't like wasting the court's time, but I will take the lighthearted ridiculousness. It's a nice break from the serious ones. Yeah, which I think I'm going to get into the serious ones coming up here soon. Dropping the 100 for the Bree Hive. Love to see it, Z Seltzer. I think there are a lot of omissions as far as this case goes. I think so. It was Glorisis. Deli Moose has found you with Natalie Lawyer Chick. Well, happy to have you over here. I love the other YouTubers. Natalie Lawyer Chick was a big influence in me starting this as well. So, and Legal Bites too. So a lot of the lawyers on YouTube, I will watch them all the time. And then I was like, let's join in. I was like one of those people that watched the live stream and didn't say anything. And I watched a lot of replays. So I was never really in the chat. Cass the Stat says, it was truly a great Friday night. I had so much fun. Glad to hear. As your mama says, that's where I first saw you too. on Emily D. Baker. Julia says, you, Natalie, and Emily D. Baker are so fun. It's also great seeing you on Friday Night Frenzy with Rob and Runkle. Yeah, that was a good time too. Everyone's stream is a good time. I don't think I've been on anyone's stream that wasn't a good time. I even been on Good Logic with Joe, and everyone's like, I don't know if this is gonna go that well because we're so different, but we had a great time. If you guys haven't seen that one, it was around the Depp v. Heard trial. And we had a great time on there too. So I don't think I've been on anyone's stream that wasn't fun yet. Castastat says, you're never an intrusion, Bree. I like to invade it though. Tiny D says Bree Hive is on the road to 50K. Yes, that is a goal of mine, to get to 50K subscribers by the end of the year. I'm hoping we can get there. We recently just got like 300 subscribers over the weekend after Friday Night Frenzy. So I'm hoping that we can keep getting the love spilling in. Maybe need a viral video here or there. Don't know how to do it yet, but hopefully we can get there. Mary Marlick, he says, oh yeah, Bree is live watching from Chicago. I first found you during Johnny Depp trial and caught you on Rob's Friday Night Frenzy last week. You're a delight. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming over, catching the live. Welcome to the Bree Hive, everyone. Everyone dropping road to 50K. Love it. All right, I can't keep up with the chat no more. I can't keep up with the chat no more. Let's see. Hello Swaggy says, I found Bree from Natalie. Lawyer Chick 2 collab goals for real. Speaking of, any plans to have Natalie Lawyer Chick back on the Bree Hive channel anytime soon? Yes, she is going to be back. I know she was just busy over the last couple of weeks, so I have to touch base with her on getting her on the live stream. And then, like I said earlier, also working on getting a collab with the Hollywood Lawyer as well. Silver Raven MC says, Nate the lawyer actually interviewed Samantha Markle about this whole thing. It's interesting to hear things from multiple angles. Yeah, I think so. I think it's hard to really connect, especially when all the arguments are against her, like the law is against her in it. So I'm probably going to try to find Nate's stream on that, or his interview on that. Cast the Stat says, share the stream. Yes, of course, guys. If you guys can, please share the stream on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, wherever you can share the link. Thank you for that, Cast the Sass. All right, we are winding down. Ari says, I bet if you talk about the DeSantis versus Disney legal stuff, you'll get a lot of views. I thought about that, and I thought about doing that collab with the Hollywood attorney, but I think she used to work for Disney, so I don't know if she can touch on that too. She should be okay with, I don't know. I'll have to ask her. But I did look into it. I didn't all the way understand it, so I would have to take more time to look into that. And of course, with the Trump trial, I don't think I can cover Trump. I really don't. Deli Moon says, yeah, she got real cases. She said she'll be back. Yeah, of course. So I'll touch base with her and get her back on, especially because I'm thinking about doing some criminal trial stuff, and she'll be way more versed in that than me. Cassis says, oh yes, please cover the Disney thing. Okay, I'll look into it. I briefly looked into it today, and I didn't really understand what was going on. So I'll look deeper into it, and maybe we'll get that on for Thursday. There are a couple of like copyright and trademark things that I want to touch on as well. So I may look into that too. It's just so much. It's always something, okay? Tiny D says, I need to watch the Samantha and Nate interview. Definitely, I know we have to. Maybe he'll let me stream it. Maybe he'll let me stream it. Julia says, very different time zones for working lawyers would be tough to coordinate often. Yeah, that is true. We are all on like different sides of the country. Cheryl C says, as much as I would love to keep the light pop culture content in a cozy chat, I always want your channel to grow. So some of the more high profile cases will need to be scattered in too. Yeah, I think so too. That's what I have to do. I can't keep doing the fun things. I love hanging out with all of you guys, but we have to get the community to grow. So I am thinking that we are going to cover some of those harder topics. And like I said, if there's another trial that I want to cover, I'm going to probably late night stream it so that I can work during the day and still cover it without being so behind, because I'm still so behind on Gwyneth Paltrow. MG Mustang 05 says, pass the word. Tell your friends and neighbors, help grow this wonderful channel. Thank you so much. I definitely appreciate the support. Hello Swanky says she can, the Hollywood attorney. I mean, she was talking about possibly covering it. Okay, yeah, I emailed her today. So we're discussing topics and I'll bring that one up. I haven't yet because I didn't know, but I will bring it up with her. Cheryl C says, please don't cover that one. We don't need politics to enter the chat. Yeah, and I'm not a politics person, so I don't think I can do Trump. I really don't. I wouldn't even know what you guys are talking about. Ari says, cover Trump would get views, but I selfishly don't want you to cover it either. I'm probably not. I'm not versed enough in it to handle what will come into the chat, okay? Like, we might get some people in, and the moderators will be working for sure. Deacon Fatal says, will do. I think this is my last live because school starts next Monday. Oh no, but oh yes, I'm happy you're doing school, but we'll miss you in the chat for sure. Thank you for your time, ma'am. First class is corrections. I don't think it will be fun, but I'm just trying to pass. Well, we wish you the best in passing. We hope you can stop in every so often just to, catch a break. But we wish you the best in your school endeavors, and I hope you pass. I hope you pass every single class with an A. With an A. Excellence, okay? Cassie says no Trump either. I just think it brings too much to divide with. Yeah, I would agree. Hello, Swinky says, I too am okay with skipping Trump stuff. Yeah, I agree. Jelly Moon says, I wanted nothing to do with Gwyneth Paltrow and her goop behind. Nope, not for me. Yeah, I didn't cover the whole thing, but it was trending. It was trending. So we kind of have to cover stuff even if we don't. But Trump is one I'm not touching with a 10-foot pole. Mary says, it's a fun place. You'll never run out of places to visit and eat. Put it on your bucket list. I don't know exactly what place you guys are referring to there. Tiny D says, yeah, if you cover the clown, I will have to skip that one. Okay, everyone would skip Trump. Okay. All right, I gotta go to bed, y'all. So I'll keep in mind some of the stuff that you guys said. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this live stream. If you have not already, please do hit the like button. We are at 106 likes, so thank you to everyone that hit that like button. It helped us reach our goal of 100 likes. Next up is road to 50K subscribers by the end of the year. We have 9 more months to make it happen, so let's make it happen. Hopefully we'll get some good cases coming in and we can grow the channel, get more friends, and start making the Bree Hive. Like, we're already popping, but we can get a little bit more popping, right? Okay. I will see you all on Thursday's live stream. I hope you have a good rest of your week, and I hope that you are able to join me on Thursday. Thank you all so much, and I hope you have a good night, Bree Hive.